again to the Iron City Roundhouse Report, the podcast where the love for the high iron meets the precision of the scale model. Whether you're tracking the latest Class 1 freight movements or perfecting the scenery on your home layout, we're here to celebrate the history and hobby of railroading. Climb aboard and settle in as we clear the signals for another journey through the world of trains. Hello once again, and welcome to another episode of the Iron City Roundhouse Report. Tonight we are here to introduce our second installment of our anniversary shows. This will be part 2 of the 1-year anniversary for the Iron City Roundhouse Report, and it's also episode 10 of season 2. And we've got some special hosts with us tonight. We've got actually 4 hosts that we're going to be introducing this with this evening. So without further ado, let me go ahead and introduce our 4 co-hosts for this evening, besides myself, that is. First of all, we have our Iron City T-Track layout planner, Kevin Squire, who's here to help co-host. So welcome, Kevin. Glad to have you here with us tonight.
Hey, guys. Thanks again for having me back. I appreciate it. Looking forward to it.
Yep, good to have you. Glad to have you here too, Kevin. And we also have with us from the Onondaga Cutoff, we have Uncle Dave Abeleys with us to co-host. So welcome, Dave, and we're so glad you were able to join us as well.
Well, Brad, hey, every once in a while you get lucky, right? This is this finally came together after a couple good swings and misses. But we connected here, and it's always a pleasure. You guys, the positive energy here and the growth side of the hobby, it's a pleasure to be here. I very much appreciate the invitation.
And we appreciate you helping us out as well. It's always fun. It's always fun when Uncle Dave shows up, that's for sure. And then the 4th co-host is someone who's always here with us, and it's always good to talk to, my good buddy Pat Moore, who is also here co-hosting with us. So, Pat, how are you feeling about the second installment of our anniversary, our 1-year anniversary?
Oh, it's been good. We've had a lot of good feedback. A lot of people have enjoyed the first show. And this one, I think everyone's going to really enjoy because we got Kevin a new nickname. We don't give it away yet, but it's really good. And we also have Dave Abeleys talking to a bunch of young guns, which I really appreciated. We didn't do it that way on purpose. We just were scheduling people to come on at different times to say, hey, we enjoyed that podcast and happy anniversary. But we all got all these guys together, and it was pretty neat because the main topic for our Gen Z, group now for those guys modeling at that Gen Z level is real steam coming to the East Coast. So I know Dave was just thrilled to talk about that. I know Kevin was too. And so I think everyone's going to be thrilled to hear us talk about steam again and their ideas and thoughts about future shows. Brad and I are working on some different ideas for some yard masters to get into some detail with some special topics. So I think everyone's going to really enjoy hearing from the young guns, Dave and Kevin, this evening.
Yeah, I agree, Pat. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we, like you mentioned, we've got a lot of interesting topics to talk about, and that the young guns will be addressing. And it's good to hear from those guys, and we're going to have a really good mix of characters here, I think, tonight with the 4 old guys who are currently here in the room, but joining us shortly will be the Iron City young guns, a lot of them. And so, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And Dave and Kevin, Dave, go first. What are your thoughts on the 1-year anniversary of the Iron City Roundhouse Report?
I think, it's hard to argue with the fact that it's a crazy world these days. I think a lot of people are worried about a lot of different things, and the hobby is here for us as a home away from home, a spot we can come with other like-minded people that enjoy railroading and trains and the history, the future. Some guys like the economics of it. Some guys like the modeling of it. But the idea is that what you've created here after a year is a spot where we can all come together and hang out. And it's a refreshing thing. It's a lot of fun, and I'm super excited for what you guys have created. It's filled a void that I think has been opened up here by other podcasts going in different directions. This one really, I think, remains about the people and about the trains, and it's just a lot of fun to be involved. Very low stress and good subject material, a lot of room for growth. And it's an exciting time. I'm really thrilled for both of you guys. Congratulations.
Well, thank you very much. It's funny you should mention that hanging out thing, because that was one of we didn't have a whole lot of goals, but that was one of the goals Pat and I talked about. We wanted to make this kind of like a digital version of what we used to be able to do fairly commonly, hanging out down at the train store, the brick and mortar hobby shop, and just chatting with with people about trains, and glad that you feel that vibe coming through, because that's one of the things that we wanted. Would you agree, Pat?
Oh yeah, that was one of our mission statements at the very beginning was, hey, just pretend that you're standing in line at the store, overhearing two older guys talking about something. I've learned so much, from my years at Esther's Hobby Store and a couple of other ones when I got transferred to the east side of the state of Pennsylvania. I used to go in and there'd be just guys. They used to have chairs set up at a couple of the stores I used to go to, and you would just hear stories of, well, I tried this the other day with the DCC and that didn't work, or hey, I was painting, or hey, we went over to a friend's house to help them reinstall some track that was getting old, and this is how we laid switches. And I was like, man, can you imagine if you just had a recording device back in the early 2000s or the 90s when all these stores were like full.
Yeah. And remember, we took a trip to Tommy Gilbert's hobby store in Gettysburg, and he had I believe it's an old car seat in there that he used.
Yeah.
But it's just fun. It's the kind of thing to hang out. So, Kevin, do you have any thoughts you'd like to share about the 1-year anniversary of the Roundhouse Report?
It's been a nice ride. The couple times you've allowed me to join on, and I certainly always enjoy turning it on my own, when I'm driving down the car or whatever. You guys have done a great job, and yeah, it gives it that nice welcome feeling. So keep it up.
Thanks. Well, thank you. We'll do. And thank you. You've been a big part of everybody here, Dave, Pat, and Kevin. You guys have all been a big part of this. So your help and your presence here is definitely appreciated, and in no small part the success we've had is because of the people we've been able to connect with, and I guess in the end that's really what it's all about, isn't it?
So now that it's been 1 year, does that mean we can start getting some residual checks or what?
Yeah,
we'll talk about that. We'll have to have that discussion off the air.
2% of nothing is nothing.
Right.
Pretty much.
Our advertising budget's doing well too, still zero.
But I think there's something really authentic about the fact that we're doing this because we love it.
Yes.
And it's not something that was intended to generate a bunch of revenue. And that, if that comes, that comes. But the important thing is that we all do this hobby because we love what it is that brings us to the tracks. We're all guys and gals that love trains, and we love watching what trains do, and the people that come together to make it work. And looking at the way the big boy is going to change the way people look at steam engines on the East Coast, looking at the heritage programs of these different railroads, and talking about it with people that are excited about it and eager about it. How many things today can you really be excited about and find a bunch of other people that are excited about the same thing with almost no negativity to go along with it? This is it's a great hobby. This is a great time for this hobby.
Definitely.
And this podcast, I think, fits it head on. It's great.
Thank you. Thank you for being here tonight, everyone. And Pat, I think we're getting close to the time when we need to move on to the main portion of this. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, the only other thing I was going to say is Brad has decided that he's going to print out about 10,000 business cards and just throw them at people as we drive by chasing the big boy across the East Coast. So, anybody remember the Blues Brothers? Just going to put a big thing on top of the car.
Oh my God, I love it! I love it.
I love it.
Did you forget? I did really. That's not just a joke. There, we do have a bunch of cards. Remember?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're going to be passing them out. Yeah.
We were going to pass them out in Springfield, but then when Snowmageddon came and we didn't get to go.
Can you imagine someone's been sitting like 10 hours for the perfect shot for the big boy, and I walk in front of them right when they're going to take the picture to hand them a card of the podcast?
That'd be great. Yeah.
Let me tell you what you can do with your podcast, mister. Oh, I'm so sorry. Just tune in. We'll talk about the big boy. You mean the one that just went by? Yes, that one.
Where I got your noggin in my shot instead of the big boy.
All right, guys. Hey, we really appreciate you being on the show. It's going to be great to hear everyone talk. And we're going to be right back after this with episode 10, part 2 of our anniversary special, right after this. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Tonight is our part 2 of our anniversary special. We had a great show number 1, and now we're into number 2 with a bunch of additional guests that have been on our show before. And I'll pass it over to Brad, and he'll introduce everybody tonight.
Well, thank you, Pat. And we have another great group of individuals here with us tonight to help us celebrate our 1-year anniversary. This will be the second part of at least a 2-part. We'll see what else transpires here, but we're on part 2 tonight. And without further ado, I'll introduce our guests that we have with us this evening. First of all, have one of the original Iron City Young Guns, Blake George, aka George Blake. Blake, welcome. It's great to have you here.
Great to be here. Thank you.
Is this you or your evil twin? Which is it, Blake George or George Blake?
It's Blake George.
Oh, that's good. That's good. All right. So great to have you here, Blake. And then another one of our young guns, we've got Jimmy Braum here with us, who I believe is fresh off of a visit to one of my favorite places in the world, Orbisonia, Pennsylvania. Jimmy, welcome.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I was going to say, I just flew in from Orbisonia, Rockville Furnace, and boy, are my arms tired.
I bet they are. Well, great to have you with us, Jimmy. And I guess while we're on the Young Guns theme, we have a third of our Young Guns here. We have with us Connor Deardoff. Connor, great to have you with us, and thanks for joining us.
Hey, Brad, Pat, thanks for having me on. Always a joy and happy to be here.
Likewise. And then we also have the Iron City IT specialist and layout planner, Kevin Squires, here with us. So, Kevin, it's great to have you back with us.
Man, I was hoping to be a young gun. What's up, everybody?
Sorry, Kevin, that bird does that that ship sailed a while ago, buddy. But it's great to have you here anyway, Kevin, even if you're not young anymore. And then last but not least, we have with us from Lebanon, New Jersey, our good friend, Uncle Dave Abeles from Onondaga Cutoff fame. So, Dave, welcome, and we're delighted to have you here with us.
Well, it's always a pleasure, guys. And after I sign my train order and give it to the mail pigeon, we're in good shape. We're finally online here.
You're coming through very clear for having to send things via messenger pigeon.
Well, those pigeons are reliable, Brad. You sometimes you got to rely on the old school.
That's right. Yeah, sometimes old school's best. You're right. Absolutely.
Exactly. Now, congratulations, you guys, on a year. That's a major accomplishment. I think there's been tremendous growth in the content and the way you guys have put things together, and sort of bright future. It's an exciting thing to be part of it. So I'm honored to be here.
Well, thank you. We're honored to have you and everybody else who's been here and is here with us tonight. It's great to be able to share this with all of you guys. So thank you so much for being here with us. And now that we've got the introductions done, I will throw it back over to Pat to get things started here. My partner in crime, Patrick Moore.
Hey, everybody. Just once again, really happy to have you guys on. You guys have all been part of the show, either through Yardmasters or from your own little specials. That from the office car special to Kevin's DC doctrine that we did that one show on, which was actually a big hit. Brad and I and Kevin were doing that show, and I remember saying, I have no idea if anybody wants to hear this. and it exploded to to the point that we're starting to get hate mail on DCC. So we're going to slow down a little bit from that. And
that's when you've arrived. When
right.
People arguing about DCC systems.
Yeah. So just happy to have everybody on. So tonight is open mic night. We have just a couple of generic topics we're going to throw out there. It could lead to anything, and we're hoping for that. But like I said, Brad and I wanted to say thank you and bring you guys back on and let our listeners know how much we appreciate folks coming on. So with that, I'm going to start with Jimmy tonight. So Jimmy, what are some things that you would like to hear maybe in the future on the podcast, or what are some things that you enjoy? And then after that, we'll follow up with, or do you have any plans this summer with the big boy? So we'll go ahead with Jimmy.
Well, to answer the first part, I've enjoyed listening to, how cliche this sound, but the office car specials. Those have always been the most entertaining, in my opinion, because I love listening to stories about the railroad itself. And for the follow-up, so far, I have been scouting locations on Google Maps. I might have a spot, but I am not going to say where, because I don't want everyone.
Oh, wow.
So Jimmy breaks it tonight. He's got an undisclosed location along with him and the president of where to stand online for the big boy.
We're gonna have to get a GPS tag on Jimmy.
Let me rephrase that. I will give it when I know exactly where I'm going.
Hey, you know what would be so funny? If DJ and Jimmy are in the same location.
Yeah, that would be great.
I could just see the two of them looking across the tracks at each other like, you got to be kidding me.
And all the 200 miles of Pittsburgh line, really?
Yeah.
And Jimmy, we've talked also about doing some regional history on the show too. We try to go national, but we do have a link between a lot of our listeners, and that is the Pittsburgh community. A lot of guys from other countries, model the Pittsburgh area or the Western PA Panhandle area. And so I know that we're looking forward to trying to get you back on and maybe talk about some local stuff. If people have never seen it, Jimmy's been on several times. He's building an empire of his own with the Wheeling Lake Erie, and really understands the ins and outs of the yards right outside of Pittsburgh with the Wheeling and Lake Erie. So,
Fortunately,
Jimmy, we're looking to hopefully have you on.
It's in that horribly oversized scale that I know one other guy modeled in too. No, the Jimmy's layout's cool, as is the other guy, Uncle Dave. So
yeah,
so it is neat sometimes to run trains in bigger scales. They just have a different feel to them. Feels heavier, but I'll never replace N scale though, just so everybody knows.
Okay, so Jimmy, we'll probably get back to you here in a little bit, because once we go more open mic, and just let you fill in whenever you need to. Blake, what are your plans for the summer with the big boy, and what would you like to hear on the podcast, and what have you enjoyed?
Well, I'll start with the podcast topic, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go right ahead.
I'm going to second Jimmy. I really have enjoyed the office car specials. Just a lot of fun getting to hear stories of the railroad. One of my best friends, he works on the railroad too, and I'm always asking him to tell me some stories about crazy things that have gone on. So it's always cool to hear different perspectives. Some things I'd like to see, definitely area history and bringing it a little bit back from being so big, as you had talked about, like nationwide, coming back down to the area of Pittsburgh, because there's so much cool rail history that's gone on in the city of Pittsburgh. And sometimes I feel like it's overlooked. So it'd be awesome to hear more about that. As far as big boy plans, I actually do have a lot of stuff planned. I've taken the couple days off when it's going to be in Altoona, and I'm hoping, and I actually just booked my hotel today out in Duncansville near the Everett Shops to chase the Everett a little bit while I'm out there, see the big boy. A couple of my friends are from the Penn State Model Railroad Club are coming down. We're making it a kind of a big get together, making it a big event around the big boy. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And then we'll chase it back to Pittsburgh and to Conway. And I've got I shouldn't say old because you guys will laugh at me when I tell you what year it is, but I have an older sports car that I've been working on trying to get back on the road. And so my goal is to have it done so that we can chase it using that, which I think would be a lot of fun.
I think you showed me a picture of that, and I can't remember now what it is. What is it again? Your car?
It's a 1996 Pontiac Firebird.
That's right.
Oh,
right.
man. Oh,
Sweet ride.
wow.
So I would just like to chime in here.
You couldn't even get something that's like before I graduated and call it old.
Kevin, give it up. You're old. Right?
Well, it was made before I was born, so
yeah, ha. Somebody mute him now, please. I would just like to point out one thing. That's two people who've said they like the OCS. I'm glad to hear that because you guys just saw a good example tonight of how hard Pat and I have to work to make that happen, right? No, I agree with you guys. Those are always fun ones to do. And it's the amazing part to me is it's even fun when you listen to it a second time after having participated. Pat and I always joke that we just get the show started and then we go to bed and tell Dave and Todd to shut things down when they're finished.
I'm so energetic, they wear me out.
Yeah.
So if you guys remember one of the episodes that we did, Todd and Uncle Dave started going on in code. And I had my pencil out and I must have went through 2 pages of code.
Yeah. It's a different language on every railroad, you know.
Yeah.
And Todd and I, we both fell in love with Conrail early, and kind of grew up with it. I mean, Tom's a little older than me, but for both of us, that was our home railroad. And going through and the symbols were just, it was like talking about a '96 Pontiac Firebird. Like everybody knew those symbols that was in the trains, and it's I can't believe, and it's funny. 1996. I remember that. Now I feel old too. That's not that often, but this is the natural order of things, man.
Well, brother, I got some bad news for you.
Well, you're a teacher. Teachers get this exposure early. You guys are used to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm on second generation kids now. I mean, actually, I've had grandparents of former students now.
My brother had that for the first time this year in York County. He's a teacher down there in Winterstown, and has that for the first time this year. And he's like, Dave, it's freaky. I'm like, oh man, I can only imagine,
Exactly. And that was I know that was one of the tough things for me with the NS and CSX split of Conrail, because I knew all of the Conrail symbols, but NSs are so different from what Conrail had, in my opinion, that it's like having to learn a whole new language again.
Oh, they've changed. My gosh, NS, their service design team down there in Atlanta is always changing which block goes where, and then they change the symbol.
Yeah,
and it's tough to keep track of them all. That's for darn sure.
It's almost like they don't think of us rail fans when they make these decisions.
I know it's awfully rude. Like that,
Yeah.
Okay, so with that, let's go over to Connor and ask him the same questions. Connor, what are you thinking about all this anniversary stuff?
Oh, well, I'll start with the podcast. I mean, I got to hop on the bandwagon with the office car specials. I love those every single time. One of the other things I really enjoy is sort of the story behind the modeler, seeing like behind the scenes, what motivates them. Say like you have a modeler that's doing something that they grew up around or they have a family connection to. I always love stories like that. I also really one of my favorite podcast episodes that you guys have done was season 1, episode 12. I actually looked it up just now. Lauren James from the Otter Valley Railroad.
Oh, yeah.
being able to hear some of the things he's doing on the manufacturing and the retailer side was awesome. And I think that was very informative as a modeler to just know those things that these
I
are.
will I will say too, not to interrupt, sorry, Connor,
Yeah.
but if you ever have the
Yeah.
opportunity to get up to Tillsonburg, Ontario, north of the border, Lorne does have a really cool train shop up there and nice variety and a great inventory. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that in for our buddy Lorne. It was enjoyable having him on here. So sorry, Connor, go ahead.
Yep. No worries. Visiting him is certainly on my list. I would love to get up there, tour the shop. But again, that's been one of my favorite episodes because this is what our favorite model companies are dealing with. Everything on the manufacturing side, the design, the shipping, dealing with the tariffs in the past year or so. All of that I find very interesting, and I love listening to it.
Yeah, Connor, it's funny you said that because Brad and I had this master plan when we were going to go up to Amherst and really try to make some inroads on some of these manufacturers and get them on the show and talk to them, face to face, explain to them what we do. Unfortunately, with a couple of feet of snow in between us, we didn't get to do that. But that's something I thought everyone would enjoy is really getting the nuts and bolts of who's doing what, why they're doing it, right, and what influence do model railroaders actually have with the manufacturers. And so that I'm glad you brought that up because that's something I think Brad and I were trying to target in the future.
I can only imagine though we would have gotten to Amherst and there would have been a trash train going through if we hadn't made it.
So Connor, what are your plans for the big boy?
So I have at least 2 sets of plans so far. I'm still working on fleshing them out. I'm sure everyone else is. One is next month when the big boy is coming eastward. I'm only about an hour and a half from Erie, so it's coming through on a Tuesday. I believe the date is June 17th. Don't quote me on that. It should be around then. I was planning to go up and try and catch it coming through Erie. I believe it's staying a night at Conneaut Yard in Ohio, then coming through into New York. So I was hoping to go up there for the day and catch it, and then maybe do some rail fanning around that area the rest of the day. And then on the way back west, coming through Pittsburgh, we've got options. So for those of you that may not know, that there's effectively 3 routes through Pittsburgh for trains to take. One is the Pittsburgh line, which goes right through downtown, right through the Amtrak station, crosses the river at the convention center, and then over on that side of the river towards Ohio and westward. The other route it comes across the river much earlier. It's the Conemaugh line. It goes a little more north and then back down along the Allegheny River. Now, we don't think the big boy is going to take that route based on the map that Union Pacific published, but it is still worth bringing up because it is technically an option. Now, the last option, because there are some tight clearances in Pittsburgh, there is a detour, specifically for freight trains. Norfolk Southern uses it for double stack intermodal trains to this day. It was originally built by the Pennsylvania Railroad to get around the downtown Pittsburgh and free up those tight clearances for the passenger trains and high priority stuff. And that is the Mon line right across the river from downtown Pittsburgh. Now, as soon as I say that, you guys probably perking your ears because I built the Iron City Incline, the T-track module, the functional scale model of the Duquesne Incline. Now, that passes right over the Mon line, just across the river from Pittsburgh, downtown Pittsburgh. So if the big boy is coming through Pittsburgh on the Mon line, you know exactly where I'm going to be on that day.
With about 50 other of your closest friends, professional photographers, because that is one of the most photographed lines I've ever seen. Even for folks that are not rail fans, if anybody knows, there's several professional photographers that kind of capture Pittsburgh daily, and one of them likes to perch right there, and you see all kinds of NS going underneath there or CSX right next to it. And you constantly see that. And I was hoping that's which way it goes, because then it would come back over, I believe, and go up to Sewickley, right into Conway that way on that main line there, that 4.
Yeah, it would then cross the Ohio River.
Yeah, I mean, to see that engine on that OC connecting bridge,
Yeah.
holy smokes, would that be amazing?
Oh yeah.
Then it would go right past the old Pittsburgh and Lake Erie headquarters, and that would be really nice. If that would just happen to be at dusk with the lights on and everything, that would be something else too. But I'm not sure I think they were going to come in midday through there. I'm not 100% sure what the time.
Yeah, I believe it was probably going to be closer to like 4 or 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Based on when they're doing the whistle stop just outside of Conway Yard.
And it's an ambitious schedule, and steam engines, even the big boy, which all that beautiful restoration work they did, steam engines are cantankerous, especially out on the main line. I'll tell you, I have a lot of faith in UP to be able to deliver it, but they don't give themselves too many breaks. That when they're moving over the road, they're expecting this thing to make some time. So I think they're going to try and stick to that schedule. It'll be very interesting to see how that all comes together.
That was what I thought when I saw it too, Dave. There's not a lot of margin for error in that, is there?
No, and one of the things I was talking about with some of the railroad buddies I've got at Transit, one of the reasons they're not coming east of Harrisburg at all is there's just not the capacity anymore, given the other traffic on the railroad. Mm-hmm. So what I think is going to be something to watch is how NS handles other traffic on the rails while this thing is doing what it does. And you can't have a train pass it on a track on adjacent track on Horseshoe Curve or Bennington Curve. You got to be very careful when it's coming through some of the turns, the narrows down to the Conemaugh, out towards Johnstown. Depending on which route it takes, when all the heavy eastbounds come up the Conemaugh line, it's got gentler curves and such, but it's got a lot more of them. So, but there's also obviously a lot less people on that line than what's on the Pittsburgh line too. And I think, aren't they doing a stop someplace on the main line between C and Pittsburgh?
Not really. They're doing Leetsdale, which is just before Conway Yard.
Oh, okay. So so everything's already back together by then. So
right.
It'll be very curious, and I'm excited, especially for you guys in Western PA. Man, if I had a free schedule, I'd be out there, but I'm actually going to be handling this whole FIFA World Cup. That's coming to New Jersey and a bunch of other cities in North America for the same exact couple weeks that this is going on.
Can't you work remotely?
You can't make this up. But no, I've already been voluntold to get to a couple spots. So, you know how these things go. So, but the cool part is that the stuff after July 4th, we have about a week and a half break between games in early July after July 5th. So I'm hoping to be able to come out, at least get out towards Harrisburg and see it at a couple spots out in that general direction. There's a bunch of different opportunities, and I would love to scoot out and see it in Eastern PA because they're going to be running the Reading 2102 with it.
Yep.
So what I would love to do is hike into one of the spots someplace along the grade in the Lehigh Gorge. And with the boys, I take my sons out there. We'll leave at, dark 30, get out there with a couple sandwiches and a cooler of sodas and some beers and some water and some chairs. And we'll just wait and see the 2102 go north at 9 or 10 in the morning. And then both of these monsters come south in the afternoon. That would be optimal. But man, I think the whole world is thinking about trying to see the steam engine. I think it's going to be a busy couple of weeks.
And I think you're right too. The key to getting a good spot is getting there at dark 30 because I mean I've seen they showed a picture of it. I forget where, somewhere in the Midwest, and was it Rochelle? And there were like 60,000 people there. They said. Or something.
So the fact that chasing it, even chasing it down the west slope on Highway 53, there's going to be 8 miles of traffic chasing this thing, or 6 miles of traffic. No. It's just these towns aren't designed for that kind of throughput. So, big boy goes down the hill at 30 or 40 miles an hour. It's going to be tough to keep up. So, from my experience, even chasing the 2102 when I've done it on the Reading and Northern in the last couple of years. Even in Eastern PA, even with an engine that runs every once in a while, everybody's used to 2102 now. You still got 4,000 or 5,000 people out there looking for this thing.
Yep.
And you really have to, you're not going to hit multiple spots like you would a regular train or even a heritage unit. There's so many people out that you've got to pick a couple spots far apart and make sure you're there nice and early to allow for whatever you got to do to get there.
Did I ever tell you that story about the 2102? It's one of I think it was its first trip when it came back into service.
No.
Missy and I were riding the train, and I handed her my phone and said, "Can you get me a picture of just as I forget where we were going." And the next thing I know, she's looking at my phone. I said, "What's wrong?" She said, "Who's Rich Wisniewski?" So he was standing in Nesquehoning, and he saw me post a couple pictures. He said, "Are you on the train?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "We'll be sure to look out the window in Nesquehoning."
Yeah, he's the one that's helped me out a lot. He's been on it 100% and warned me. He's like, "Dave, you want to hear it come up the hill, so go to the south end of Nesquehoning and stand on the retaining wall." I was like, I've never been there, but okay. And boy, was he right. We got there early, but there was 3 rows behind us by the time the engine came by.
Mm-hmm.
But boy, did it fill that valley with sound. It was, I mean, that 2102 it's a religious experience. It's like 611 if you saw that down in the Norfolk and Western back in the day.
Yep.
These are just, they're living, breathing machines. It's unbelievable.
A bunch of us, when we were at the N Scale convention in Bethlehem, went up and Chase, I think we started at Nesquehoning, I think.
Yep.
And then we chased it over to Cole Interlocking.
Oh, wow.
All of it coming through there. Yeah. I
Great.
figured we got to get up there in the gorge and see it. So
yeah, I'm thrilled to hear, the young guns here on the Iron City. There's so much time and potential here with the guys we're talking to tonight, Connor and everybody. You guys are just living in a wonderful age of steam engines on the main line. And I'm so glad to hear everybody's putting time aside to find a way to get out. Even if it's just to see the thing, you got to take advantage of this. This stuff, I mean, take it from us older guys. This doesn't happen all the time. This is not this is not something you can count on happening again for a long, long time.
Yep.
Oh, absolutely.
You guys know what I thought was kind of funny is, and I don't know how some people are doing this. Has anybody seen the commercials? And I actually shared one where the people are putting packages together for a stay and guaranteed location spots at a certain time for when it comes through. And I'm like, I wonder how they're doing that. If they're working with an old platform of someone that owns an old station or an organization that owns an old station that are allowing them to come into a certain area, or someone just going to camp out with yellow tape and say, "We've purchased this location."
Right. I'm sure that'll go over fine, Pat.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But I've seen that already, and I'm like, I don't know if you can. Hey, I don't know the scale of this, right? Todd and then we're talking about the nickel plate the last time it went through, and how the East Coast just kind of stood still, and everybody was trying to get to a viewing platform to see that one when it came by. So I can only imagine what this is going to be.
I was planning on trying to see it, go down with Todd and see it at the Lewistown station, but he said they're doing all kind of renovations and there's fences and everything up. So there may not be any access. We were just there recently, a bunch of us for the rally the first day. We went out and sat with Todd at the station. I had forgotten what a great rail fanning location that was, but that may not be available when the big boy comes through. So that's another piece to the puzzle. But
I would imagine that one would be busy if it was available, because you're right on top of the rails right there, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There would have been a lot of people there for sure. If
that is a really nice spot.
Yeah.
And then I also thought, what great press the UP's getting right now, and with all the people that are worried about what a large coast to coast railroad is going to look at, your first thing is, we'll just throw the big boy at you. Put some smiles in everybody's face for at least 2 months, right? And once it rolls by, and make you forget about this other hocus pocus that's going on.
Somebody's thinking at the top of UP.
Because I'm telling you, it's making me happy, and I'm happy to see that.
And then they can also say, if that's not enough, we got a couple other ones we can throw out.
That's right.
FEF could come and everything else. So yeah, It is cool though that they, I mean, I've never been a huge, I mean, I'm a Penske guy, but I do have to admire the way Union Pacific has preserved engines like this and allows them to run on a main line, because that doesn't happen a whole lot on on many other mainline railroads to run steam. I know there's a lot of liability issues with running steam on an operating freight main line, but I do admire Union Pacific for doing that.
Well, and you deal with this a little bit too professionally, Brad, with the school. I mean, any big corporation, NJ Transit included, like all of these companies, liability is a huge concern.
Yep.
And a real challenge right now is the way all the stuff used to be insured was through Amtrak. So, a lot of people love to bash Amtrak. Oh, Amtrak sucks and all these different problems. But in the end, it was all of their insurance that really made a lot of these mainline excursions feasible, because everybody they'd attach a rider to the Amtrak insurance policy. And that's how you were able to afford what was 10, 20 $million policies. No kidding.
Wow.
For some of these excursions, some of these mainline trains. And then you add steam engines to it, and it's even crazier. So one of the challenges today is that there's less and less tolerance at Amtrak for sponsoring these other things at taxpayer expense.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an interesting time, because you watch Union Pacific, but there's definitely it's an ongoing challenge, like anything else in this country, to fund some of these nice things on the side. It's a very tight budget that a lot of these things run on, and insurance is a big reason why. So, it's something to keep in mind as you see this. There's a lot of people working behind the scenes to make this kind of stuff happen, and a good chunk of it is because people believe in railroad. They believe in what we do, and there's a lot to be said for making sure that the railroads know that you appreciate it. It goes a long way.
For sure. Yeah. Thank you for that perspective. Because I know you've had it somewhat with, not really with preservation, but with heritage units. So the heritage units that you guys are doing there have been really cool too. So that's
thank you. Yeah, it's a labor of love, and it's something we've been able to do in conjunction with the labor. The unions have had a lot to do with that. There's been wonderful support, but it does take a lot of elbow grease to make it happen. And so, these excursions, the mainline excursions, and it is amazing the insurance that it takes to pull it off and make sure that people are protected from what is definitely a special event. So get out and enjoy it, because this is a one of a kind experience.
Okay, hey, we're going to pass it over to Kevin. Kevin, we've been having you on as a host. We've had you on for Yard Masters, I think the OGs. So you've been on a lot. So with your overview of everything, what would you like to see maybe in the future for the podcast? What do you enjoy with the podcast? And maybe as we talked here, what are your plans for the big boy?
That would be Kevin, the not young gun, right?
Yeah, the rusty barrel is what we're going to call him.
I like that. I like that. Well played.
That's not like totally decrepit yet. I can live with that. No, so like my big thing, I always like stories. So whether it's a story coming from the office car type of thing, or whether it's a story coming from like DJ, or whether we can get some others on, Rich, things like that. I love stories. So that I think that would be a great way to continue. And I would say if you take that same idea, the story idea, and go towards, like Connor said, with the one vendor, I forget who he said, the Canadian vendor.
Otter
Valley. Yeah. What a great shop and a great guy. Yeah, good call.
Yeah, like I would love to hear maybe a little bit from Mini Prints, or a little bit from our sponsor with the monthly video shows, right? Like they can tell a little bit about just their experience, a little bit about how things are going, a little bit about what they see coming up. I'm all for stories, man. So, That's something I would suggest, or I would love to see.
Are you talking about true stories or made up? I can help you out. Well, I can help you out a lot with the latter, but I don't.
what is it? Never let the truth get in the way of a good story, right?
Yeah.
I think if you learned one thing from me, I think that would be it.
Well, when you say that, Kevin, we talked to Chris Ketch on the first part one, and we talked a little bit about that, making sure that a lot of these guys have absolutely beautiful stories about their freelance railroad too, and it's all made up. But if they can story tell it, and the way that they put it together on their layout, down to Mr. Jones owns the supermarket here on the corner, and it's all made up. But if you could put it together and story tell it, it is wonderful. And that's kind of what the hobby. I love that about the hobby, when those guys go into their freelance mode and just tell us about a railroad that never existed and all the problems they had in the 80s with it, and the union, and you're like, how did you put this all together? Almost like writing a novel. It's those are kind of nice too.
Gordon Gregory, get him on here with his
right. Yeah,
same idea. And then my plans for the big boy, I'm going to follow Jimmy, and he doesn't know it yet. No, I have, like Blake alluded to earlier, the problem right now is because of the current release schedule, it really has like 3 different routes that it could take. I expect a lot of the big places, like if it came through Allegheny Commons, or if it comes underneath the incline, those types of places, those really photogenic places, I'm sure those are going to be covered. So I think I might head up to, I have a spot up in Derry, which is where I cut my teeth railfanning as a kid. And then I have another spot over by Twin Lakes Park. And both of those places will allow me to, if I show up and there's a lot of cars, I can just kind of hike down the road quite a while, like Uncle Dave just said there. It's just grab some chairs, hike out into the woods, get out there where no one else is, and just kind of sit and enjoy. So both of those spots is kind of what I'm thinking about doing, but it so depends, right? Because we don't know which route specifically it's going to take. There's a pretty good guess, but until I get that idea, that makes it a little harder.
Kevin, my ears.
Somebody who might be in the cab.
All right.
Yeah, right.
Stomp on the ground 3 times on that one for a hit. But we don't know yet. He's working. We don't know yet.
What were you saying, Pat?
I was saying my ears perked up when they started talking about it could possibly go through Turtle Creek area, and I was like, oh, I know someone that would really like that.
Right? I was thinking that too. Down right, if it comes through that way because of the George Westinghouse Bridge back behind there, oh my God, that would be beautiful. But I'm like, it's going to be crowded, and there's going to be plenty of there's plenty of better photographers than me that are going to be there, right?
I can in my mind's eye, I see Kevin rappelling down the George Westinghouse Bridge.
My son is fully trained and has all the equipment, so we might do that.
Well, then I thought, if it goes through Sewickley, I can just see us all camped down on someone's front yard that has no idea our backyard, and we're there next to the main line.
Maybe Mario Lemieux would rent his yard out.
Yeah, right.
Quickly, yeah.
He's up on the hill. He's
not up on the tracks, but just something like that, or some neighborhood like that, on down the line as it's coming up. Like, where are these people in my blocking my driveway, and can't get out of here?
There's right near where Richard Shirey lives in Baden. There's that footbridge that goes over the tracks too.
All those houses that are along the main there, it's going to be just like the north side, man. Everybody and their uncle is going to be charging you $50 to come park in their lawn.
At least maybe they'll have coffee and donuts to go with it.
or the golf thing out there, the golf open that always comes out.
Oakmont, the US
Oakmont,
Open,
that's it. Yeah, that place. I don't know if you've ever been out that way. Whenever it's there, but man, everybody and their uncle's charging you $50 to park in their grass.
It's just going to be a unique situation. I think the only problem, and Richard kind of gave us a fair warning about this. He said the last time that they had anything special come through Conway, they were so worried about people trying to get up on the tracks and trying to get over a restricted area because the yard's so big up there, that they kind of hid the engine that night behind some buildings, some maintenance sheds and stuff. So, people would just kind of block it so people would just go home, so that they wouldn't have the photographic.
Is it
Or
stopping
camped
at Conway, or is it just passing through?
No, it's stopping at Conway.
It's stopping at Conway.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's one of their 2 or 3 stops where they're stopping, and then on the schedule it says like there's going to be a private event included in there, plus it's stopping overnight. I imagine that goes back to like Dave saying about how they have a tight schedule, because they seem to have a couple stops in there where you can almost picture them using them to catch up some time, or making up some. That's where their schedule is built in some extra time.
Yeah, I think that's true.
And then, what we're hoping for once we get a little tighter schedule is, if we can, without breaking anybody's secret post or secret locations, maybe have some of the guys from the Iron City meet at a certain location too, and just kind of hang out.
I hope we can do something like that, because I got to tell you, rail fanning is not a whole lot of fun all by yourself, at least not in my book.
And I hope at least it's not like just rail fanning in general, where you're kind of out there like going fishing. At least we'll know, hopefully, where the big fish is coming.
we know there's at least one big fish out there, right?
Right, yeah. And I swear to you, if I go out to rail fan and a trash train's in front of that big boy, I'm going to be very disappointed.
That'll be what happened. It'll go by on the near track, and you'll hear it on the other side.
Yeah. All you see is a puff of smoke and all kinds of blue containers with trash in front of it. That would just be my luck.
Mental note: don't rail fan with pet on this event.
Or you almost use me like as a decoy, just more. Go over here where the trash is at. Go about 5 miles down the road.
That's what you do, Connor. Just make sure he's over on the main line, then it's guaranteed to come through on the Mon.
All right. Hey, Pat, I think I changed my mind.
Okay. I can see Jimmy now. I'm going to be here, Pat. Meet me at 9 a.m. Okay. But hey, we'll pass it over to our last guest tonight. Dave, we talked a little bit about this, and you've been able to add on some of your knowledge. But, with your overview of podcasting and writing and everything, what would you like to see us talk about? And I guess you wouldn't see us talk, you would hear us. Or what are some topics that you think are interesting, that you think maybe in general folks would like to hear? And like you said before, maybe just add a little bit more about your big boy window that you might have.
Oh, sure, Pat. No, I think one of the best parts about podcasting, and this goes across all the different podcasting platforms, but one of the things you guys are really strong with is bringing on the next generation. And, as Brad and I get older, we're the only ones getting older. Everybody else seems to be getting younger. But, Brad, you understand.
Oh, completely, yes.
But I really do, in all seriousness, think it's great to hear some younger voices in the hobby. And I think the more we can do to involve everyone across generations in different aspects of this hobby, the better. I'd love to hear what people are doing as far as modeling goes. I'd love to hear what people are thinking about, or what fears might be out there as far as operations go. My humble opinion is that operations is a secret to longevity in the hobby, and it challenges all of us, even us that have been doing it for years and years and years. It's a growing and exciting part of the hobby that really demands continuous learning and continuous growth. And I don't know about you guys, but if I'm comfortable, I stay comfortable. I don't want to be uncomfortable. The only time I know that I'm growing is when something else is making me push myself a little bit. And model railroading does that. It really opens a lot of doors for us socially and intellectually as we push ourselves to understand history and push ourselves to understand the finances of why these things happen. And even just going to operating sessions, learning another person's railroad and the rules and how to apply that. So I'm excited for this podcast, because I think it, it's got a fresh approach. It comes in with no pretense. There's no inside jokes or exclusionary kind of stuff. It's here for everyone to tap into, and it's going to open doors for people going forward. And I think that's very exciting. So I'm real excited to hear what other people have to contribute. I'm happy to be part of it, and it's an honor to be here. And that leads me right into the big boy. The fact that I still can't believe, is growing up in the 80s, there was steam excursions on all over the place, but I couldn't drive yet. We got to go over and see a couple of them here and there when special events were close, but by the time I came of driving age into the 90s, a lot of this stuff had dried up on the main line. And to have a resurgence of 765 back in 2012 when it ran all over the NS system, 611 several times in the last decade now, even to the point where I was running solo up and down the Blue Ridge. That was, like I said it before, it was a religious experience. I met God that afternoon. It was something else. Unbelievable. I'll never forget it. And I can't describe it to my boys, my family, because you just had to be there.
Yeah.
It took you it was literally a time machine in real life. Unbelievable. So that's the kind of opportunity we have with the big boy this year. Now, granted, nothing that big ever ran on most of the railroads down here where it's going to be running. But that's part of the fun. I mean, you were literally part of history with this. This is the first time ever that an engine that large has moved over these bridges, these grade crossings, through these stations. And what an absolute thrill. So I want to make sure I get trackside someplace. I want to make sure I'm there with the boys. I'm going to try and get my wife and my daughter to come out. 13-year-old daughter's, she's tepid with trains these days, like a cat playing with a dead mouse. But but that being said, this is worth the push. And I'm gonna Susie, you don't get a lot of chances to be part of history, and all we got to do is show up. We'll make a day of it. We'll get we'll eat out at a restaurant someplace to or from. Spend some time. I mean, let's go out there and see what there is to see. Smell what there is to smell. All of this stuff is right in front of us. So I'm going to really try hard to get out for, even if it's just a day trip over to Nesquehoning or North Reading or someplace out there. It's an hour from my house or so. We'll do that. And then mid-July, July 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, we'll try and get out on the Harrisburg line and watch it come west.
Awesome.
Yeah. Dave, you mentioned something, and I was thinking about it recently. It will not be unrealistic now to have a big boy on someone's layout that's modeling Pennsylvania or Ohio or New York, right? You can put it on there. Right? That is especially if you're a kid, right? 10 years from now, let's say I'm 8 years old and I start modeling, and then I become 20 and someone's like, well, how can you have that big boy on here? Well, historically on this date, I was right there on trackside as it rolled through. So it happened. So if it happens, you can model it, right? I mean, everyone has freelance. You could do anything you really want. But for a lot of people that really into that prototype modeling, the sky's the limit now with the way the railroads are putting some of these locomotives on the main line.
It's such a good point, Pat. And again, I can't stress how, again, I'm going to be 50 next year. It's a different perspective sort of heading into the second half, God willing, I'm around for that much longer, but you look at your whole track record of watching trains, your whole track record of building models. And I'm standing in front of the Onondaga Cutoff right now, looking at models that I built in 8th grade in high school. I got kids that are in 8th grade now. And the stuff I dreamt about in 8th grade is a lot different than the stuff I think about now at the age of 49. But here's something that can draw all of us together. This event, and there's going to be a ton of people because everybody wants to be part of something like this. But that's the point. Having some people in your pictures, guys, there's nothing wrong with that at all. Having some of the chasing cars in your pictures or videos when this goes by, those cars are going to be like that 1996 Firebird in a couple of years. It's hard to imagine. But I tell you, take it from my experience. The 1989 Dodge Caravan is pretty classic at this point. Can you imagine that historic place on my minivan? Good Lord.
How many people back in the 90s ever thought that it would be something to get excited about to see like an SD40 go by or something? But
Right.
now you see one and it's like, holy cow.
The 645 turbocharged or roots blown, but
Yep.
my favorite is the turbo. The 645 turbocharged, that there is nothing like that sound anywhere else in the world. I love that sound.
Yep.
That's my favorite sound in railroading is listen to those climate grade.
It's one of the things I miss too, because by comparison, these modern engines are so quiet to my
I agree with you.
Like, man.
Yep. The lone exception, the SD70 ACEs are but they have to be in run 8.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're wide open climbing the east slope or the west slope with something heavy, those howl. They have that same high pitched howl or a similar high pitched howl. But man, nothing compares because the Dash 2s were unmuffled.
Yeah.
So that was just.
I can remember sitting at Cassandra, and I swear you could hear them coming through Johnstown from Cassandra.
If the wind was right, I don't think you're wrong at all. I think you're spot on.
Yep. Yeah. But the time moves on, and we can still see them sometimes, at least. But it is, and that's why I completely agree with Dave. Anything that you can have framed in your shots today might seem like commonplace minutia, but 20 years from now,
absolutely.
Yeah, you might even get a dinosaur like me or Brad in the picture.
What the heck?
I'm including you, buddy. We're in this together.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll take that. I got you by about 7 years though. I think I'm the oldest friggin' guy here tonight. I'm making fun of Kevin, and
Good.
As you guys noticed, I've been keeping very quiet.
Yeah, that was a recent episode. Dave Pat said, "Yeah, guys like us in our 40s and our 50s." I'm like, that would be guys like us in our 50s and 60s.
Well, I'm joining the next decade club here in a couple months. So there you go.
Excellent. Hey, I wanted to say thanks so much, guys, for coming on this evening. That hour is just blown by, and you guys will all be on in future episodes. I know it. Especially, we did get a lot of feedback about the yard masters. And we really want to keep that going. And all of you here would be great yard masters in the future. I think it really helps young modelers here, guys. And it's funny because we're all modest modelers. At least some of us in the room are. I don't know about Brad, but but
right, we can make jokes about other people. You understand?
We've all seen a trash trainer too.
Yeah, right.
Pat's taking his lumps tonight.
That's true.
But I think it's great to hear someone that you think is a pretty good modeler go, I messed it up about 1,000 times before I got it right, and that makes you stay in the hobby, right? Because I tell you what, the first time that the locomotive won't run, or the switch won't throw, or you're rolling your box cars through a switch and the road wheels come off. All these things have happened. You're right. And it's good to know that, hey, that happens, right? It's not you're not the only one going through that, or hey, when the DCC system doesn't work. I think on the last podcast, I might even said, hey, when you retire too, you forget that people work, and you can't call Kevin at 11 a.m. on a Tuesday with a 911 DCC call. That probably wasn't the smartest thing to do. Kevin was so polite. He goes, I'm in a meeting right now, but I'll be glad to have you when I'm done. I was like, what is he talking about, a meeting? I was like, oh, God, it's Tuesday on 11 a.m.
Did you stop calling me because my answer to everything is buy a power cab? Is that
It's the right answer, Brad.
But hey, guys, really, once again, thank you so much being part of the anniversary. Hopefully we'll do this again same time next year for year 2. We'll all talk about our big boys experiences and whatever else is coming down the line. But we really appreciate you. And we want you guys to know you're part of the Iron City family, and it's been a great year. And I'll pass.
Congratulations, Pat,
Yeah.
Brad, you guys for starting this thing up. It filled a hole in my life at that time, and I know it did the same for Mr. Treaster, Mr. T, and Todd and I both love being part of it. And it just, to meet these new people, it's getting better, and it's nice to be part of something getting better in 2026. It's fantastic.
Yeah, here's definitely to year number 2, guys.
Thank you very much.
I'll second/third that.
I'll
Right.
fourth
Yeah.
again.
I will too. Congratulations, guys. You've made something really special here.
Well, and just let's not forget that you guys all played an important role in that, in helping that to happen too. There's appreciation all the way around here. Thank you for being a part of it. Thank you for your continued support. Thank you for all the suggestions, and just thankful. Thank you for taking this journey with us. It's been a lot of fun. Well, there is some work involved in putting one of these together, but with the people that we've had backing us and the people we've had supporting us, just like all of you here tonight, it hasn't felt like work. It's been fun. So we can't thank you guys enough for that, and thank you for joining us tonight. Pat, do you want to take us out of here tonight, or do you want me to?
Yep. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. What a great episode. Episode 10, season 2. You couldn't ask for a better topic. You couldn't ask for better guys talking. Kevin, I love the new nickname, the Rusty Barrel, right? For the Young Guns, the Rusty Barrel, and Dave Abelese. The movie's coming out soon.
That sounds like a band that contributed to Bruce Springsteen,
right?
I love it.
Or it could be like the new sequels of Smokey and the Bandit or something, something in that genre. Yeah.
Grab my black cowboy hat with the big old feathers on the front, right?
Yeah.
What a pleasure, guys. So this is just it's a lot of fun to be part of this. And you look at life has a way of playing tricks on you sometimes, and you can always get frustrated and get down about different things, but then a year like this comes along, and I mean, how many people on their checkerboard of life said, sometime in the 2020s, a big boy is going to go to Philadelphia? I mean,
right?
That's if you eat too much Domino's pizza and you have a dream at night. That's the kind of like, there's no way. And here we are.
Yeah, that definitely was not on my bingo card. I can tell you that, but it is awesome that it's happening for sure.
Oh man.
Fantastic. Never ever would have guessed.
Yeah.
And I think during the show we hit about this of, is Union Pacific, you talking about hitting it out of the ballpark with some free press about the merger with NS and everything that's going on, that you couldn't ask for a better way to introduce yourself to the East Coast.
For sure. Yeah. And I will say in a little shot of optimism, I know there's a lot of uncertainty and there are a lot of nervous people, in both of these companies, I'm sure. And of course, our hearts go out to them. It's never fun wondering, how this is going to affect your position and if you may have to move but there are some silver linings to this. And, I'm just hoping that the merger goes off really well. And that the takeover, I guess, let's call it what it is. But, there's a bit of a history of meltdowns when we have these big mergers. So hopefully the railroads have learned from those past experiences. And if this one happens, it goes off without a hitch. And I just hope for everybody who works for either one of those railroads, it's my sincere hope that more than anything, it works out for you guys so that, you can continue your careers there and not have to worry about layoffs and all that nasty stuff that nobody likes. So, from a rail fan's perspective, there is some reason for optimism. I know I was reading through the merger documents the other day and they're talking and, you never know if it's going to come to fruition, but the Buffalo line, which I live 2 miles from, has been very devoid of traffic since Norfolk Southern moved it off, and they're seriously considering making some upgrades, especially around Northumberland and even maybe north of Williamsport, to serve as kind of like a relief valve if they get the traffic increases that they're talking about. So, you always want to look for things to be hopeful about, and that's one little part for me. But I just with the merger and everything. But so the best part of it, though, is like you guys were saying, we get to see the big boy come east for the first time ever. So that at least is good, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
No, it's gonna be epic. It's gonna be something everybody's gonna remember. We joked about the Blues Brothers. I finally showed my kids that movie, and we laughed the whole way through it. It is still just a great film, and it catches you off guard. But so does life,
Right.
and we still can be surprised as we get older. You start to think you've seen it all. You start to think, oh, well, there's just the same old, same old stuff. No, life is not about the same old stuff. It will always find a way to surprise you.
For sure.
So if you're open to the positive side of that, that's a good thing, because then you can be surprised by the good stuff too, and not just the bad.
So, Pat, serious question. Do you play the harmonica?
No, but I'm going to learn.
So next year at Altoona, on the front porch of the station, and we have to do the Blues Brothers Soul Man thing.
Right, exactly.
And that will permanently kill that event. No, the People Festival will never allow anybody to be on that front porch again.
I can see us in a diner in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania. I'll take 2 chickens and a Coke. What are you guys here for? We're chasing the big boy. We're getting the band back together.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, if you guys want to talk to Dave, if you want to talk to Kevin, if you want to talk to Brad or myself, hey, you can get a hold of us on our Iron City InSkill page, or you can DM us, or you can tag us. We'll answer your questions. We're here for you guys. We're all part of the Iron City experience, and it's all for free. Just have to join our page, the Iron City InSkill page on Facebook. If you want to listen to us, you can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Podbeam, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Player FM, Listen Notes, Podchaser, Boomplay, or wherever you're listening to right now. Just keep listening to us. It's really good. We're really working on our YouTube channel, trying to get some videos there. If I could just learn how to move my stuff from Facebook over to YouTube without Brad pulling his hair out. We're trying to get some videos there. We share all our content from our clinics or from our showcases. We put those on YouTube now because Facebook only holds those for 30 days. So there's a lot of opportunity to also not just to listen to us, but to see things that are going on the Iron City page. Also, just a real quick reminder, our Super Bowl's coming, and Kevin, I know, is going to probably try to put a couple of commercials together for us this summer to get everybody ready. But Altoona's coming. Altoona's coming. It's our big show. It's in September. More details to follow, but that's our granddaddy of them all. That's our Rose Bowl. So we want to make sure everybody's getting ready for Altoona in September. And with that, I'll pass it over to Brad for his final thoughts for this evening.
Yeah, thanks, Pat. It's been a great 1 year. We've looked back at before, but when we started this with that pilot episode, which is still our most downloaded episode, but of course it's been published for the longest. we basically took 45 minutes to say we're going to give this a shot. Neither one of us has the first clue as to what we're doing, but that's basically what that pilot episode consisted of. But we have just had the opportunity to meet so many great people. And when we first started, I know I've said this before, but we said we both would have been content if the only people we reach are our community at Iron City. And it's kind of cool because the community at Iron City helped grow this podcast, and now the podcast is helping to grow the community at Iron City. I mean, Dave, you've only been on the page for about a year now, haven't you, Dave? Iron City page.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it was really, with everything changing with the other podcasts, there was this was an opportunity to find something that was positive and forward looking and that made every effort to bring people together. And to me, that's what a hobby is all about. So once I started to learn, that even this HO guy could be part of an N-scale page. We do make exceptions in life, and but it's a breath of fresh air. Again, it's still about the trains and the people, and all the rest of it is less important than coming together about trains you love and the people that enjoy watching them with you and enjoy modeling it with you. And then you get into the modeling of the railroading and be able to talk to some of the young guns here and share that message. It's the right thing to do. It's a pleasure. It's an absolute pleasure to be here. So I'm just very grateful to have had the opportunity to contribute.
Well, we're grateful to you for contributing too. And that was the other point that I wanted to make. It was really cool to have some of our young guns get on there with us and get a chance to talk to you and interact with even the older gentlemen in this group. But yeah, that's just basically, that's why we set out to do this. That was one of our missions is to bring people together, and that's what the hobby of model railroading does when it's done right. So we just want to say a huge heartfelt welcome, or thank you. I mean, a huge heartfelt thank you to everybody who has downloaded or listened to us, and to everybody like these guys, for instance, Dave and Kevin, who are here with us tonight, who have helped out with in all kinds of different ways. We've had so many good suggestions that have led to interesting podcasts. So thank you for that. Keep it all coming, and please do continue to listen to us. And we're just looking forward to seeing what the future may hold. The sky's really the limit. So thank you very much for tuning in, and thank you for listening to another episode of the Iron City Roundhouse Report. All right, rail fans, that's all the steam we've got for this edition of the Iron City Roundhouse Report. Until next time, keep those gauges green, your couplers connected, and may your layouts always run smoothly. Happy railroading.